Hi, today I want to let you know that our June newsletter is coming out today in your inbox, served on a platter, on a plate to you in your inbox. So watch out for it. It should come at around 1 p.m. British summertime in your inbox. So the main theme of this newsletter is how to recognize and enforce judgments after Brexit. Indeed, since the UK has left the European Union as a member state on the 1st of January 2021, there's been some vagueness and blurriness as to how UK judgments would be recognised and enforced in the 27 remaining EU member states, and how EU judgments would be recognised and enforced in the UK. And the system is really in a state of flux. There's no certainty at the moment as to what is going on, because the UK has applied to become a member of the Lugano Convention in order to be able to, like the countries which belong to the IFTA, the European something association, so that covers Iceland, Norway, Denmark, Liechtenstein, etc. So all these IFTA countries, except Liechtenstein, are contracting parties to the Lugano Convention, and as such, as well as the EU, the 27 remaining EU member states are part of the Lugano Convention. So therefore, these IFTA members, bar Liechtenstein, and the EU member states can actually have their judgments recognized and enforced in their respective jurisdictions easily through the Lugano Convention. So why does the UK take time to become a member of the Lugano Convention? Because the UK is fucking about, excuse my French, by not applying the provisions of the new TSA, basically the new agreement which it entered into between the EU and the UK, and in particular in relation to the Northern Ireland trade barriers, which are not being basically implemented by the UK at the moment. So this is creating a row, and therefore the this TSA, this agreement between the UK and the EU is not implemented in full. And because the EU has taken the view nothing is agreed until everything is agreed, well, that also covers the accession of the UK to the Lugano Convention, which the EU can veto if it wants. I'm fairly sure that the accession of the UK to the Lugano Convention for the recognition of and enforcement of civil and commercial judgments will be put on hold until the enforcement of a TSA, so this new agreement between the UK and the EU, is actually basically enforced and complied with, in particular by the UK. So another avenue to recognize and enforce judgments from the EU into the UK at the moment is to look at common law from England and Wales, from Scotland and from Northern Ireland. Yes, you've heard me correctly. At the moment, the judges, the courts in the UK, have to rely on common law in their respective, regional jurisdictions. So the common law of England and Wales, common law of Scotland, and common law of Northern Ireland, which is like, a return to the Dark Ages. Because common law is extremely vague, right? Common law is a pool of case law which has accumulated over the years in these three British regions or areas, England and Wales, Northern Ireland and Scotland. So in addition to common law applying to the recognition and enforcement of civil and commercial judgments in the UK, there's also the desire of the UK to use the Hague Convention from 2007. So the EU is a party to a contracting member of the Hague Convention on the on exclusivity clause agreements. And as such, when the UK was a member state, EU member state, the UK was a party to the Hague Convention. And so what the UK did before the transition date of the 1st of January 2021 is that it applied to become a standalone member of the Hague Convention 2007, which was granted to the UK. So the UK became a standalone contracting party of the Hague Convention 2007 on the 1st of January 2021, which is great. But there are two areas of contention in relation to the application of the Hague Convention to the enforcement and recognition of civil and commercial judgments in the UK. Why? Well, first, there is the difficulty that this Hague Convention relates to exclusivity clause agreements, i.e. simple agreements which set out a clause which provides an exclusive jurisdiction of a particular country, which needs to be a member state of the Hague, in order to enforce such court decisions which will relate to the dispute. However, there are quite a lot of contracts entered into, in particular in the UK, which, as we all know, is a financial hub with a lot of banks located in the UK. There are a lot of contracts, particular banking contracts, lending agreements, which are asymmetric, i.e. one of the parties, one of the contracting parties to the contract has an exclusive clause relating to the jurisdiction applying to it, while the other party, usually the lender, has the ability to choose the forum, the jurisdiction which will be competent in case there is a dispute and a court case which has to be filed. So these contracts are called asymmetric because for one party it is a exclusive clause jurisdiction which applies so usually the borrower, but for the other party, i.e. the lender, it is they have a choice of the various types of jurisdictions that they can elect to look into the dispute, in court. So the UK has taken the view that these asymmetric contracts, or these unilateral contracts, are actually falling within the remit of the Hague Convention 2007, the 2007 Hague Convention on exclusive jurisdiction agreements. While the EU and a lot of case law and a lot of academics have decided against those asymmetric contracts being covered by the scope of the 2007 Hague Convention. So here, this is probably going to be, at some point in the near future, discussed and decided in court. So that is not great, in terms of security of transactions and basically clear and transparent rules applying to the enforcement and recognition of civil and commercial judgments between the UK and the EU states. Another area of contention relating to the application of the 2007 Hague Convention is the fact that the UK was not a standalone contracting party to the Hague Convention between 2015 and 2021. It was just merely one of the 28 EU member states and was a member of the 2007 Hague Convention by way of its membership as an EU member state. And while the UK is of the view that the UK has been a contracting member of the 2007 Hague Convention without any interruption from 2015, when the EU became a member, to now, up to now, with no interruption, because on the 1st of January 2020, when it became a standalone contracting party of the Hague Convention, the EU, on the other hand, is of the view that between 2015 and the 1st of January 2021, the UK was not a party to the Hague Convention. And therefore, that is probably another legal issue which is going to be resolved at some point in the near future in court. What is the takeout of all this? It's a fucking mess. That is the takeout. It's a fucking mess, and nothing is sure and certain and clear and transparent at this point in time. So what do you guys, as a creative entrepreneur, as a director of a creative business, as a creative person, what can you do with your upcoming cross-border contractual relationships with your trade partners who are based in the EU? Well, the best is actually to set out an arbitration clause in your new contracts going forward, which basically is the best way forward. Why? Because arbitration awards are recognized and enforced through the 1958 New York Convention, which was unaffected by Brexit. Okay, why? Because the UK was a contracting party to the New York Convention even before the transition date of the 1st of January 2021. So for arbitration awards, there's continuity in the way they are being enforced and recognized in the UK and in the EU. And also London in the UK, London in particular, is one of the strongest forums for arbitration proceedings, with Paris in particular, but London is also quite strong with the LCIA, a portion of the ICC, etc., etc. So at the moment, our recommendation is for our clients and creative partners to actually set out an arbitration clause in the new contracting agreements, in the new contracts with the EU trade partners or with the UK trade partners if they are based in the EU, which will force the parties to actually start an arbitration, which will be concluded by an arbitration award, which will be easily enforceable through the New York Convention. That is the best way forward, to use actually this private alternative dispute resolution which is arbitration at the moment, because on the public standpoint, on the public law standpoint, with as I was explaining, with the Hague Convention, the Lugano Convention, using UK common law. I mean, hello, this is a return to the Dark Ages, and nothing is sure and certain. So this is the takeout. Bye for now.